Okay, I'm going to try to put these videos in order. The ones I do more like I had mentioned in that last one I did, that said that basically if you watch somebody that does a live stream, they have a lot of hellos and goodbyes and talking to their audience and all this kind of stuff, because all the chat goes on and everything. And that annoys me, and I think, they should just make longer videos when they don't have it live stream and put those up. Well, yesterday I did say that in that video, and then I tried to upload it, and I have really fast high-speed internet. What is it called? I don't even know. But for some reason, twice in a row, it's clicked itself to where it's a slower speed. And man, it was like 28 minutes, I think 28 minutes something, to upload. And I had to delete the first one because it was just going so slow, and I had actually put it on the wrong channel, YouTube channel. So I had to upload it again, and it still hadn't finished. Well, I think it took most of the day, say several hours after I made it and all that. And finally, it stuck on 95% forever, and I had actually changed it before I started the second one, changed it to where it was the higher speed. Whew, that was rambling. But yeah, like, that might be why. I don't know if it just doesn't like videos. It seems like when it gets higher, close to 19 minutes or so, when it gets close to 20 minutes, it just really doesn't like it or something. I don't know. But before, anything smaller, less minutes than that, goes really fast. But anyway, got that part over. Now I want to talk about two topics that deal with, basically, really they deal with narcissistic abuse or narcissist. It's the two of them. One is about hiding your identity, and the other one is about, well, a lot of people these days, maybe I'll start with that one. A lot of people these days seem to think that there's something mystical or magical about people who are narcissistic, who are abusive. See, a lot of people these days, really, they just categorize everything under that is abusive in any way. Abuse is not just physical, but in any way abusive, maybe even if it's something that they don't like that somebody said that wasn't really abusive, but they categorize it as that person's being narcissistic. I think it's seriously overused, and I've been saying that for a long while. But that's how more and more people these days think of it. People who more are online, I should say, think about it, that have watched these kinds of videos or in these kinds of groups or chats or whatever, wherever you are, tweets and all that. So, yeah, that's how they categorize it, is more of narcissism, and narcissistic, or a narcissist. So, okay. Anyway, it's like they're trying to find, say something is mystical, magical. Like I said, like these are some aliens or something. Yeah, something that some won't say that, but they hint at it. There's something that bizarre that they act the same way no matter what country they're in. It doesn't matter what kind of socioeconomic status, ethnic group, whatever. That doesn't apply, because they all act the same way. Well, they're abusive. Okay, that's it. They are abusive. If they're abusive, if it's just not somebody trying to say somebody is, there's that whole thing of people trying to turn it around, projection, and boy, that came out in the country, didn't it? Projection, and along this line, that the same people who are actually abusive will say somebody's abusive, somebody else is, blaming the victim, so many different things. But yeah, people wanting to say there's something mystical about it, like they're, like I said, aliens or some, lizard people. I know several times I've heard this about lizard people, and in different places, and I'm like, what the heck is this about lizard people? And some are memes that say the lizard inside of you. What the crap? They've been watching, what's that, Stargate, the old one? Yeah. All right. So I had personally had something that made me laugh, that I came up with, it kind of made me laugh in a way. It didn't, but it was, okay. I did a video a while back talking about Neanderthals. Some call them Neanderthals. It's Homo Neanderthalis, I believe. And that we used to just call people who were this way. Sometimes we just say, oh, they're Neanderthals, and that's the kind of certain kind of mentality of certain kinds. I think, yeah, some of it is more like when people are sexist or misogynistic, this kind of thing, that they would call them that, but not always. Now, I did a video about that, how that's what we used to say about them, but later on, I started thinking, and I was thinking, maybe it's that we're more of the Neanderthals, those of us who are empaths, and the other ones are simply the Homo sapiens. I want to go on with this. Okay, and the reason I say there are different kinds of theories of how and why the Homo Neanderthals became extinct. Oof, that got loud. But one of the reasons is they said that the Homo sapiens, humans that we call nowadays, those of us who are human, that they wiped them out, murdered them, killed them, whatever. But there was some interbreeding between the Homo sapiens and Homo Neanderthals. They did interbreed, and my thought was simply that the people that were allowed to live, that weren't, for whatever reason, were those who were the blend. You see? Now, it's been eons since I've taken biology classes, and I don't know whether it's genetic or it's DNA or it's chromosomes or whatever you file it under. But just think for a moment. Okay, if the Homo sapiens were the ones that were murderous and wiped every other, what would it be? I can't even remember now. But breed, whatever it was, they wiped them all out. Then, yeah, the ones that are alive today, that are this kind that just does everything they can to kill the person, whether physically or emotionally, mentally, whatever, psychologically, they are the Homo sapiens. And the other ones who don't perhaps they have more, whatever it is, genetic makeup of those that were the Homo Neanderthals. You see what I'm saying? So maybe those of us who are empaths are more, we have more of that. You see? And like I said, I made myself laugh about that, seriously. I told Adam about it last night again. I don't know if I told him before and he'd forgotten, I've forgotten. But he said, but you might be onto something there. But in a way, kind of, yeah, if you're going to look at it like there's something mystical, magical, why don't you look at something like that? Instead of thinking they're aliens from another planet. Really, seriously. Now, these kinds of people, where do you think the term narcissist or narcissism came from? Well, think about it. This is not something new. This is not some kind of new thought or whatever. And also, if not, you can look through mythology. You can also look in your Bible. I'm not trying to make this a religious thing, but look in 2 Timothy 3 and go read on from there. But yeah, I mean, it's not something that just suddenly people have discovered this, and people have had theories about it. It's not. It's something that's been around for a long time, and it's basically saying avoid these people. Okay, more and more what you hear is avoid these people. These are not good people. Okay, but really, there's so much these days because of certain TV channels that people want to go into all that conspiracy theory, and instead of just like a hypothesis, they're going to a conspiracy theory of aliens and okay. Anyway, but that's enough for that one. But this other one is about like I said, I'm going to do on 2. It's about hiding your identity. Okay, and now this is a form of abuse too, in my opinion. I don't know if anybody would say no, but it's when you are in a relationship. Say you start dating somebody, you just met them, and you go on your first date, and you go to a restaurant, and somebody, not the secretary, but the wait staff, the wait person, asks, makes a mistake and says something about, that calls you, this guy you're on a date with, his wife. And you start to correct, but the guy does. Sorry about that, my alarm went off, but I had to turn it off. But anyway, and the guy just, quickly states, oh, this is just a friend of mine. Okay, your first date, what are they going to say, But say you start dating, and you actually start dating, and then say 6 months to a year later, whenever, that person, something similar happens, and that guy does the same thing. He introduces you as a friend. Okay, and that's going to mess with your own might, mess with your own view of yourself, and in this relationship. By this time, you may consider yourself his girlfriend. When you get older, girlfriend is a term that some might not like. It might feel uncomfortable. It seems like something for younger people, and some don't. But you at least, want to be considered more than a friend. So, some people don't. Some people want that kind of relationship where there is no attachment, like that. But it can mess with you if you are a person that you want these kinds of attachments. You don't want to have to hide it. It can start to mess with your own identity, really, of how you see yourself in this world, just not in that relationship, but it can mess with you. Okay, basically I'm saying one size doesn't fit all. Not everybody's going to have the same kind of reaction to it. Some may say it's healthy if you don't. Some may say it's healthy if you do. Differences all down the spectrums, But really, if you see yourself, by this time, I am a girlfriend. I am not just, your friend. Of course, you can discuss it. Whatever you do is up to you. You got to pay the consequences for your own actions or inactions. It's on you, nobody else. But yeah, well, what if you do? You said the guy says, "I don't see you as my girlfriend. You're just my friend." I don't even know if that's it. It starts to mess with your mind. Some people would call it narcissistic abuse. Like I said, some people like to just put everything under that. But yeah, I could see that it messes with your mind. In any kind of relationship, say if it's even your, your sister who doesn't even want to claim that she's your sister, or your brother, or your coworker. They don't want to show that you have some kind of connection to them in the way that you actually do, or should be considered. Okay. Now, I can see various reasons why somebody, say this person does have behaviors of somebody who's narcissistic, and I can see various reasons, and I can't list them all, of why they might do this, but some of it is that it could be that they want to deny the relationship with you. Say, like, if you're dating somebody and they see somebody else they think is better comes along, they don't have to say that they were ever in a relationship with you. They can just dump you and go on. They can do that anyway, of course, but they just do, so the other person doesn't realize it. That's what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that's one of them. But they can also do it, say, if it's your husband or your wife, whatever, husband and wife, and somebody you live with, your significant other, and they deny that, they do that, they won't let you, say it's not your husband or wife, you live with this person, and they don't want to get married, and people will come and say, well, is your husband here, or is your wife here, whatever is the situation, and they will immediately correct that, because of what? Financial reasons can be one, because if, it depends on where you live. If it's community property state, if it's not community property states, what am I looking for? What term am I looking for? Common law marriage. There it is. But hey, both of them also will work. But they're trying to deny it. Okay, so they don't have to pay out anything financial. They might even let you have a shared, when you do your income tax. Okay, even possibly if you're married. No, that's something else. And another thing is, it's kind of like, in a way, they can do this to set up the, here's my alarm again, to set up the, so they can do a smear campaign on you then or later than then. It's kind of twisted, but yeah, they can do that too. And but anyway, one of the things that can come from this is that you start wondering about your own identity. You start losing your own identity. You don't know who you are anymore. They've messed with your head so much by just denying you the simple, some people don't care about titles, but it's a title. Girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever is the case, sister, brother, whatever. They're denying that, and it's like they have that power. They enjoy having that power, and then they twist you around your mind. You should be, but you start to lose your identity. You start to lose your feeling of where you stand in the world. If the person that should love you is doing this, then what are you to the rest? And it can breed. I mean, it can go crazy down the road. But anyway, I thought I'd get those two topics out. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because my alarm keeps going off and I need to go home. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you want to subscribe to this channel and you haven't already, click the circle icon. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click on the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share on your own social media if you would. I'll talk to y'all in another video. Bye.